there's something really broken about Shadow Priest in 8.1. I'll get to that really soon. Hey, what's up guys, Alboni here, and I really wanted to make this video because I'm super excited about the changes for Shadow Priest in 8.1, and I've like no video covering it, so I just wanted to do that. Okay, so this video is gonna be a little bit messy all over the place, but I mean, I'm gonna try my best. Okay, this is an in-depth look at Shadow Priest in patch 8.1 for PvP, and I'm on the PTR right now. And the first thing we're gonna go over talents real quick, just the changes and what I think, you know, the best ones are gonna be for PvP. So on the first tier, we're gonna probably stick with Shadowy Insight. On the second tier, Intangibility, pretty hype about that. So this is pretty much the old artifact dispersion thing. It makes dispersion a 1.5 minute cooldown, down from 2 minutes, and it also gives us back the heal effect that we had in Legion. There's one thing that you probably don't know about this, which like it's not a huge deal, but back in Legion you could disperse, you would get the heal, and then you could come out of dispersion and you would still have the heal. So you could just disperse and then cancel dispersion just to get the heal. Well, in BFA in 8.1 you won't be able to do that because your dispersion heal is tied into your dispersion. So if you cancel dispersion, you lose the heal. So it doesn't work as you used to. But well, I should have moved around a little bit. Dispersion also makes you faster now. It gives you a 50% movement speed increase. And that's really cool. That's actually really cool. You can actually disperse offensively to go for fears and stuff like that because you get a 50% movement speed increase and you're immune to slows. So it's pretty sick. Plus dispersion is a 75% damage reduction. That is really cool. I'm really hyped for Intangibility. Then, you know, this next tier, probably gonna stick with Misery. Nothing's changed over here. I would say Shadow Crash might see a bit more play, and Auspicious Spirits as well. Again, you know, having Shadow Word Death as a talent kind of sucks, but and it's good. It kills people, but we might want to just cycle through Shadow Crash because now Shadow Crash, even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, you still get the 20 Insanity, and getting Insanity is gonna matter again because, you know, Void Form actually matters again. We'll get to that in a second. So it might look like the base spec might look something like this with Shadow Crash, with Void Torrent, because Void Torrent now generates Insanity and you can use it outside of Void Form. So basically, you know, if you fight someone, you can just Mind Blast this and then Void Torrent. Even though that's probably I don't have Void Torrent bind. That's probably not the best way to use Void Torrent. You probably want to use it to just finish someone off. But the idea is you can use it like this, or you can use it like, you know, you can use it to get Insanity, or you can use it to finish someone off, maybe when someone runs behind the pillar. And since if you're playing Void Torrent, that means you also have Shadow Fiend, and Shadow Fiend does more damage than Mindbender, although it's a longer cooldown. Obviously, it's a 3-minute cooldown. But even Shadow Fiend gives you Insanity now. It gives you a bit less than Mindbender, but it gives you Insanity. See, it gives you 3 Insanity per hit. I actually haven't seen. Look at Mindbender. Look at Shadow Fiend now. It looks different. I mean, it looks the same, but because of Shadow Form is different, it looks different. They made him white. Nice. And then Legacy of the Void also increases Void Form damage by 5%, which is pretty cool, pretty nice. Void Form is now a 15% damage increase, just flat damage increase on top of the haste. PvP talents. Greater Fade. So PogChamp about Greater Fade. So now we have Intangibility, 1.5 minute cooldown on Dispersion, and it gives you a sprint like this. And we have Greater Fade every 45-second cooldown, also gives you a sprint, and it's pretty much a bubble. I'm not exactly sure what goes through it. I think kicks can still go through it. I'm not 100% sure. If kicks don't go through it, then you can just Greater Fade whenever you mass dispel. That's really good, because you don't have to worry about getting stopped on Mass Dispel. But I think kicks might still go through Greater Fade. Greater Fade is basically the exact same as the Holy Priest Greater Fade. It's almost a bubble. It's basically a bubble. You can use it as a 4-second bubble, and it doesn't break if you heal yourself. It only breaks if you, you know, dot someone or do an offensive spell, or if the timer runs out. Greater Fade, really PogChamp. So you can cycle Dispersion with Greater Fade. I really like Greater Fade. We actually have really good talent choices now. Void Shield, not that much. Edge of Insanity, expected, nerfed, not very good. Because as soon as you go in Void Form, even though it would be nice, you know, I think it increases the damage of Void Eruption, but it's not really worth it. As soon as you hit Void Form, it goes away. Even if you have 15 seconds left, it just goes away. So it's not that good. Mind Trauma, if you want to be annoying with it, I guess it can still kind of work if you're completely free casting. But even then, Mind Trauma loses a lot of value, because Mind Trauma is pretty decent right now because you don't have a lot of buttons to press. You just put your dots up and you Mind Trauma. But in 8.1, we're going to want to be in Void Form. You're going to want to Void Bolt on cooldown. You're going to have so many more buttons to press. So just sitting there and channeling Mind Flay won't be a really good idea. So Mind Trauma, not that good. Psychic Link, not that good. Void Shift, really good. Void Shift, you know, it's a big cooldown. Void Origins, here's the thing. If you play this spec with Dark Ascension, so if you don't play Legacy of the Void, you always want to be Void Origins. Otherwise, you'll have a 3-second cast Void Form. It's really bad. If you play Legacy of the Void, you can maybe get away with not playing Void Origins because it's only a 1.3-second cast with haste. So you can, instead of Void Origins, you can pick, for instance, if you're playing against casters, like a caster cleave, instead of Void Origins, you might want to pick Psyfiend. I think that's the only choice. Shadow Mania, pretty decent actually now. Shadow Mania or Psyfiend would be pretty good choices there. And then Driven to Madness. Driven to Madness is not bad, but we actually have hallucinations now. I forgot to mention that. We have hallucinations baseline. So you get to Void Form pretty fast, okay? Especially if you play like this with Shadow Crash. You go in Void Form really fast with hallucinations. You can use hallucinations when you're out of Void Form, so you use your mana when you're out of Void Form. And then you get to Void Form. I'm probably going to end up playing a spec like this, all right, with Void Origins, Void Shift, and Greater Fade. So when the fight starts, you can shield yourself, you can dispel a little bit. Well, I don't get Insanity if I'm not dispelling something, actually. But, you know, the fight begins. You get to Insanity really fast. You don't really need Driven to Madness. So, bam, there you go. I got it. One more dot, and I got it. Void Form. Poggers. And then, you know, you go in Void Form and you do your shenanigans. So PvP talents, we have a good selection now, actually. We have really good talents. But I think this is the way to go. I think this is the baseline, best way to go. Again, if you're playing against like a Wizard Cleave and you can free cast, even if you can't free cast that much, maybe you can replace Void Origins with something else. Maybe even Shadow Mania. There's a lot of good options. But Void Shift and Greater Fade, they are omega poggers. And now, the big one. The big one. You guys ready? The thing that's going to make Shadow Priests super broken when 8.1 hits. 100% it's going to get nerfed in PvP. 100%. But if it doesn't get nerfed before it gets released, and that's the story with Blizz a lot of times, then it's going to be super omega broken. You guys ready? So they changed Thought Harvester into this. Vampiric Touch damage increased by 250. That's not really a big deal. And each time Vampiric Touch deals damage, you have a chance to increase the damage of your next Mind Seer within 20 seconds by 300%. That's a lot. 300% is a lot. However, you can say, yeah, Mind Seer doesn't do that much damage. It's 5,000 damage. You know, yeah, it does 20k damage. AoE, okay, that's a lot. But what if I told you it gets so much more than this? Because then you play one of these, okay, one Thought Harvester to increase the Mind Seer damage. Because the Mind Seer damage proc doesn't stack. So if you have two of these, it will only increase the VT damage. It will not make your Mind Seer at 600%. Okay, so you only want one of these for the proc. And then you want two of these, Searing Dialogue. Mind Seer deals an additional 826 damage. This is per tick, by the way, to enemies suffering from your Shadow Word Pain, and snares all enemies hit by 30%. So it's an AoE slow and 800 damage per tick. Let me see how many times it ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It ticks 5 times, okay? 5 times. So without Shadow Word Pain, it ticks for 1, 1.5, 1.7. Okay, 1.7 without Shadow Word Pain. And I have 2 of them. With Shadow Word Pain, it hits for 3.5, so double the damage, okay? Double the damage. So remember when we said 300% of on top of this, it would make it like a 22k damage. Yeah, how about double that? What if I told you can proc a Mind Seer that does almost 50,000 damage AoE? It gets worse. it gets better. It gets better. You know why it gets better? Because Void Form increases your damage by 15% now. So this is crazy. Okay, this is insane how much damage you do with Mind Seer. Okay, look here for the Mind Seer buff. We're gonna dot these boys with Shadow Word Pain just so we do more damage. Now the thing is, on the PTR, this trait is bugged and sometimes it doesn't do the extra damage. But usually whenever I do it the first time, it works. It just doesn't work after that for some, I don't know, it's weird, it's bugged. It's PTR, okay? It's PTR, I'm sure they'll fix it. Ha ha ha. Well, let me put more VT so we have a higher chance. Sometimes it procs so fast, just back to back, and apparently whenever I record, never procs. Come on, give me a proc. Okay, actually this is weird. I swear it procs all the time. Come on, Blizzard. Okay, stealth nerf while recording the video. Okay, I see how it is. My house is wired, ladies and gentlemen. They know. They know, we know. Oh, there it is, there it is. My Thought Harvester. There you go. Okay, watch this. I have 10 seconds. Plenty of time. Watch this. So I'm gonna Void Erupt. Look at this damage. Okay. That's 14 or 15k normal hits. Almost 30k crits from Mind Seer. So let's jump here into my scientific spreadsheet. We said around 15k damage per tick, alright, with Void Form and with the Mind Seer proc and everything. By the way, my traits for the extra Mind Seer damage are pretty small, they're 340. So you can do more than that, but let's see in my case. 15k per tick, it ticks 5 times. 15k per tick times 5 equals 75k damage per target. Maybe it wasn't 5, maybe it was 4 ticks. Okay, maybe 4 ticks. Let's not exaggerate here. 4 ticks. 4 ticks, that would be 60k damage if nothing crits. I mean, I'm just saying. 60k on everyone. Okay, so let's do one without Void Form. Okay, now it might bug. Yeah, see, now it's bugged because it doesn't show the damage anymore. I don't know why it does that. Imagine people going behind the pillar. You know, you're in arena. Not to mention RBGs. Imagine RBGs playing 3 Shadow Priests. They all save their Thought Harvester. You play with Dark Void. You know, Blood Decay grips everyone in. Okay, grips the entire BG in. And then you just go, okay, I'm pressing Mind Seer now. And you just Mind Seer. Okay, it's bugged again. It's bugged. It should be, those 5Ks should be 30k almost. It's bugged. But yeah, RBGs, that's gonna be insane, dude. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be the new dawn of Shadow Priest in RBG. Normal gameplay would be actually really fun. This is probably gonna be my go-to setup. I'm not exactly sure. I really like Greater Fade, not Mind Trauma. No. Instead of Mind Trauma, I'm not sure about this one. Probably Void Origins, even though the cast is pretty short. Driven to Madness or Void Origins? Probably one of those. Probably one of those. I mean, Void Origins does feel really smooth. And let's see how gameplay would be. Bam, you do this. But let me drag my ability on my bar. Void Torrent here. And then, okay, I have some VTs. VT everyone. It's a Mind Blasts. Oh, my Think proc? Oh, my Thought Harvester proc? Oh, Poggers. Wait, let me do some AoE. A little bit of AoE. Okay, it's bugged. I told you it's annoying. I should have, okay, that was a mistake. I should have went Void Form first. Oh, and now I have the proc again. Okay, now I can do a big one. But it's bugged. It doesn't show the numbers. Oh, you saw that? That was a 26k crit. Oh, it procced again? Oh, let me do another one. Oh, let me do another one. There we go. Okay, it's bugged. It's bugged because it doesn't. And then at the end, you do a big Void Torrent. Okay, I did it too late. You do a big Void Torrent at the end of your Void Form, and then you stay in Void Form even more, and then you also get that Insanity. It's so good, so juicy and yummy. So in conclusion, Shadow looking pretty good on the PTR, pretty poggers. Even if they end up nerfing Thought Harvester, Shadow's still gonna be really good, I think. Yes, we lose some tankiness with Edge of Insanity getting Omega nerfed, and we do have the whatever it's called, this thing, Focused Will, which does not stack, by the way. In my other video, when they first announced it, I said, oh my god, if this stacks, it's gonna be insane. But it doesn't stack. It's only 15%, but it's okay, right? It's 15% to all damage, whereas, you know, the old Shadow form was just 10% to physical damage, and then you had 20% to everything else. So it's in between, okay? It's in between. Definitely a bit less tanky, but we have, you know, shorter CD dispersion that reduces more damage and heals. Plus we have Fade on a pretty short cooldown, and also gives you a sprint. Pretty poggers. Overall, I'm really hypers. And plus, it's not just about just Shadower painting everything and then being AFK. We still have all our CC. We still have like all our utility. But on top of that, we have really good damage as well. Burst damage, just more spread damage. It's great. It's really good. And one last thing, the final touch. There's one trait that people don't really talk about, but it's really good. This one here. Death Denied. Leap of Faith absorbs the next 20k damage on the target within 10 seconds. While the shield holds, this is the big one. Leap of Faith cools 200% faster. So essentially, there's one trick with this, but I mean, I'm not sure if you... Okay, this is the idea. This is really good. It reduces the CD by a lot, by close to a minute. Close to, not exactly a minute. Sorry, close to 30 seconds. Close to 30 seconds. So it makes it almost a 1 minute CD, which is amazing. The shield is pretty big, so it helps like that as well. The only problem that might come with this, I'm not sure, I need to test it, is, you know, a lot of times you want to... Can you guys hear that? Anyway, a lot of times you want to use Death Grip on your healer to grip him into, like in arena, right? You want to grip your healer into some AoE, like an orb or a meteor or something, to break the crowd control on him. Let's say you grip him when he's sheeped or polymorphed into a frozen orb. But if the shield absorbs the damage and it ends up not breaking the CC, then it's bad. It's bad. But I'm not sure, because with some shields it works like that, but with other shields it doesn't. So I think it won't work like that, but I'm not exactly sure. It's a really good trait though. So try to get at least, well, one of them, because you don't need more. But just a lot more options. A lot of good traits. Well, not what traits I have now are really bad, but a lot of traits are really good. This one being another one of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Okay, I just wanted to put it out there, get it out there, and I did. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya!